Hello aviators, welcome to Alpha to Sky. Let's learn about the ICAO publications in this video. So we'll talk about the SARPs, PANs, SUPPs, technical manuals, air navigation plans, the circulars, and most importantly the annexes. So starting with the SARPs, which stands for standards and recommended practices. So ICAO sets rules for global air safety. These are called standards and recommended practices. So there are two things, right? Standards and recommended practices. So the participating countries are required to follow the standards, and they can let the ICAO know if there are any deviations because of which they cannot follow the particular standard. But recommended practices are optional and they are encouraged. Right? So this helps make flying safe and efficient worldwide. So these are rules and guidelines created by the ICAO Council under the Chicago Convention. These are grouped into annexes for convenience, and standards must be applied by all member countries to ensure safety and operation for international flights. And under Article 38, so this is the provision under Article 38 where a country can notify ICAO if they are not able to follow a particular standard, right? If they are deviating from a particular standard, and then ICAO will notify the other participating countries. Then recommended practices should be followed and to improve safety, and this is optional as we read. So countries are not required to report differences from recommended practices. So if there is any deviation from the recommended practices by ICAO, we don't need to, a country does not need to report that to the ICAO. But ICAO does ask them to share the differences so that it is known to the other countries. It's not a mandatory. Next is PANS, which stands for Procedure for Air Navigation Services. So these are the air navigation procedures approved by ICAO, which are used in global aviation, and they are not official standards yet. So they are not part of the SARPs, right? Standards and recommended practices, or the annexes. Now you may ask why they are not in annexes. That's because they are not mature enough, because they might change too often, or they might still be tested. The testing might be going on. Right? So they are kept in a separate category for flexibility and easy updates. Other content is either too detailed or changes too often. Next is the regional supplementary procedures, or in short, SUPPs. So ICAO has more than just global rules. It also offers tools like the regional procedures for specific areas and technical manuals to explain how to apply the rules. So these are similar to PANs, but only apply to specific regions. They are also approved by ICAO, and the technical manuals which are provided, they provide extra guidance and details to help countries follow the PANs and SUPs. Next, we have regional supplementary procedures, or in short, SUPs. So ICAO has more than just global rules. It also offers tools like these regional supplementary procedures, which are applicable for specific areas, right? So they are similar to PANs, but they only apply to specific regions. Right. Then we have the technical manuals, which provide extra guidance and details about how to follow the PANs and SARPs. Next, we have the air navigation plans, which show what facilities and services are needed for safe international flights in each ICAO region. Right, so these plans are for each region. They share important studies with all member countries. Next, we have the ICAO circulars, so which share specialized information with member countries. Okay. Now we have the most important part, that is the ICAO annexes. So we'll get direct questions on this. So you need to remember which annex is for what, for which rule. So Annex 1 is for personal licensing. So Annex 1 sets the rules for licensing pilots, air traffic controllers, and other aviation professionals. So it is for personal licensing. So all these documents can be found in the ICAO website, right, official website. I will leave a link down in the description. And there was a very interesting video that I came across. So that provides a mnemonic to remember all these annexes with their goals. Right, so I'll leave a link to that as well. So that will help you easily remember all these annexes with their rules, the rules. Annex 2 is for rules of the air, which defines basic flight rules to ensure safety of the international airspace. Annex 3 is for meteorological service for international air navigation, and so this is for the weather services which are essential for flight operations. Annex 4 is for aeronautical charts. It specifies the charts required for a safe flight, planning, and navigation. Annex 5 mentions the units of measurement to be used in air and ground. So it standardizes the measurement units used in aviation like feet, knots, etc. Annex 6 is the operation of aircraft. So it contains safety rules for the operation of different types of aircraft. Now this annex has several parts. Part 1 stands for international commercial air transport. So it sets the safety rules for airlines carrying passengers and cargo for money. It also covers flight operations, aircraft performance, crew training, and maintenance. Right, and it also ensures passenger and crew safety during commercial flights across countries for all international transport. Right. Part 2 deals with non-commercial flying like private jets or corporate flights. It focuses on pilot qualifications, aircraft maintenance, and operating procedures. So it aims to ensure safety even when there's no business or airline involved. Part 3 is about the helicopters. So it provides special rules for international helicopter operations. It covers performance standards, communication, safety, and crew requirements, and it recognizes that helicopters operate differently from planes and need their own safety standards. Next, we have Annex 7, which is for aircraft nationality and registration marks. We are going to discuss more on that in a different chapter. But yeah, Annex 7 stands for aircraft nationality and registration marks. It shows how aircraft can be identified by their registration codes and nationality. Annex 8 is about airworthiness of aircraft. So it lays down the standards to ensure that aircrafts are safe to fly. Annex 9 is about facilitation. So facilitation means it aims to simplify and speed up the border clearance of aircraft, passengers, and cargo. So these are the facilitations. Annex 10 talks about aeronautical telecommunication. It has 5 volumes, and each of them focus on a different aspect of air communication and navigation. Like how planes talk to controllers, how radars keep them apart, how signals guide them through the sky, etc. So the volume 1 talks about radio navigational aids. It covers ground-based systems like VOR, ILS, and DME used for aircraft navigation, and it ensures pilots receive accurate signals to guide them safely. Volume 2 talks about the communication procedures, which sets standard radio communication procedures between pilots and air traffic control. Volume 3 talks about the communication systems. So it describes the technical systems used for voice and data communication. It includes the system like ACARs and SATCOM that support the global aviation. Volume 4 is for surveillance radar and collision avoidance system. It focuses on radar systems like the primary or the secondary surveillance radar. It covers the TCAS to prevent mid-air collisions, etc. And volume 5 talks about the aeronautical radio frequency spectrum utilization. So it deals with how radio frequencies are assigned and used in aviation, and it ensures no interference in critical communication and navigation systems during the communication. Annex 11 talks about the air traffic services. So it sets up the structure and procedure for air traffic control and safety services, right? Annex 12 talks about the search and rescue. It establishes international cooperation for search and rescue operations. Annex 13 is for aircraft accident investigation. So it provides rules for investigating aircraft accidents and incidents fairly and thoroughly. Annex 14 talks about the aerodromes. So it ensures that both airports and heliports are safe, efficient, and well designed. It also has several volumes. The volume 1 talks about the fixed wing aircraft at aerodromes, and volume 2 talks about the helicopter operations. Right. Annex 15, Aeronautical Information Service. Annex 16 talks about the environmental pollution caused by the aircrafts, right? So how we can manage them, what should be, what rules should be followed by the aircrafts and airports to limit the environmental pollution, etc. It aims to reduce noise pollution for communities living near the airports, right? It has volume 1 which talks about the aircraft noise, and volume 2 which talks about the aircraft engine emissions. Next we have Annex 17 which talks about the security. Basically it is for safeguarding international civil aviation against acts of unlawful interference. So it focuses on protecting civil aviation from unlawful acts like terrorism and sabotage. Annex 18 talks about safe transport of dangerous goods by air. This basically regulates how hazardous materials can be safely carried by an aircraft. Annex 19 talks about the safety management. Basically, it introduces a proactive approach to managing safety across the aviation system. Right. So these annexes are very important. We need to remember the annex number as well as the role, right? So you can follow that video which I mentioned earlier. It will help you in remembering all these annexes by their rules. Next we have the recommended practices. There are several documents that are mentioned under the recommended practices. You can find all these documents in the ICAO website, and you can also take a screenshot from here. We don't need to remember everything, but just the important ones. For example, the first one, which is doc 4444, it's for procedure for air navigation services, which is the air traffic management, right? So similarly, we just need to remember a few of them, which some of them we already covered in the standards and recommended practices overview. So you can just take a screenshot from here. So this is the first screen with 6 docs. Next we have these. Doc 8643 aircraft type designator. We have the aeronautical chart manual, which is doc 8697, an important one. Search and rescue manual, the doc 7333. Next, doc 9432 manual of radio telephony, important. Right. So these were the important documents in the ICAO recommended practices. And that was it for this video. We will be covering a few questions based on these annexes, standards and recommended practices, and the other publications. Alright, that was it for this video. We will solve a few questions on these topics in the upcoming videos. Till then, do let me know if you have any suggestions and feedbacks, and also like, share and subscribe if you like the content. Remember, the most effective way to do it is to do it. Thank you.